the Women in Estate Agency group. Today I'm joined by Jo Bourne, who is an estate agency trainer and a regional representative for the Women in Estate Agency group. Jo, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you.
What is the Women in Estate Agency group trying to do? Talk to me.
Yeah, sure. I think it's about making people aware that, particularly women to start with, when it started, that they have a voice, that they're not alone. And I say that insofar as having been in the industry for a long time, that perhaps it didn't always feel like women were represented or could say what they felt like they were saying. So obviously set up by Liana and Claire Hughes to give people an opportunity to share experiences. So right in the beginning, I spoke to Claire and Liana about my experiences when I joined the industry 20 odd years ago, 25 years ago.
As a child, obviously.
As a child, definitely. I wish. But actually, how it was then and what my experiences were. And that group has grown, as you know, to over 3,000 members on Facebook now. What it is, the Facebook group certainly is about a safe place for women to talk about anything.
And fundamentally, that is the core of
That's
what it's
the core, absolutely. To go, do you know what? I'm having a really tough day. What did you do? Or I'm having a great day. I want to talk about it, but I don't feel I can talk about that. Or how do I juggle being this amazing estate agent, being this mom, being this carer, whatever that is, without feeling people are judging you? What's really good is the amount of times people ask for help or advice and how freely that's given. And that's growing and growing more and more as more people go, actually, I like this. It's a safe place to do it. It's not about promoting yourself or your services or what you do. It's a place to just go, yeah, somebody help me. Somebody share something. So I think that was the big part about the Facebook group itself. In terms of the wider group, I think that's about giving women more of a voice, but also saying to the wider industry, let's work together. I think one thing that women are particularly good at is collaborating and sharing, and that perhaps hasn't necessarily always been the way. So I think that the more we can have a voice about this is what we're doing, this is why we're doing it, these are the issues we talk about, the more we could perhaps break down some of those stereotypes that we've had in the industry. The more we can make people feel confident to say how they feel. Certainly, I wish this group had been around a long time ago. My life might have been completely different simply by the conversations that we feel safe to have. And actually, it's good to have, and the more we have them. So, yeah.
So it's a Facebook group with over 3,000.
Yeah.
If I was a man, can I join that Facebook group?
No. And we've talked about this and we've looked at it and we have made a decision, or the committee have made a decision, that we want to keep the Facebook just for women. So it's a safe place for them to talk about anything they want to talk about. However, in the wider context of events that we're having, so there's a lot of regional events taking place on the 1st of February up and down the country, socials, just socials in the evening, get together. We would welcome men to come along to those, and certainly the conference on the 7th of March, absolutely. We would like more men to come to see what we're about, to see what the work and what's been achieved by the group, but also to get their input as well. And we hope that by them coming along to more events like this, they start to perhaps recognise some of the issues that perhaps some women have had.
What would your message be to any men watching this? What are the main issues, because obviously they can't be in the group, that they can make a material difference to the women that work for them and with them?
Okay, great question. I think recognising that we're different, absolutely, but actually recognising that we have a lot to say. We might not always shout about it in quite the same way that men do. I think women, not all women, but quite often don't feel quite as confident to talk about their successes. They don't always feel quite as confident to apply for roles that are there. So actually, if there are men listening to this, the encouragement piece, We all know that often in estate agency offices, there's a lot of banter that goes on. Let's sometimes perhaps be a little bit more mindful about what that banter may or may not look like. And that works both ways. I'm not saying, it's all just about men against women, but actually just being a bit more understanding, asking questions, asking the women in your group, in your office, what might make working better, and sharing opinions, I think, is a big part. And tell us, as men out there, actually, what do you feel we need in the industry as well? Because I don't think men are particularly good at saying that sometimes. They're great about shouting about what they've done, but are they always good about sharing and talking about feelings and all of those things that perhaps the Facebook group has certainly allowed women to do? I perhaps wouldn't have shared as much about how I feel about things a long time ago, but if that group had been there and I felt actually there's no agenda, there's a lack of egos in there, as in somebody's trying to catch you out or whatever that looks like, I would have felt much more comfortable, I think.
Jo, final question. How do people find out more information?
Yeah. Reach out. Just reach out to anybody via LinkedIn.
Give me some names apart from you.
Verona Frankish, Claire Hughes, Liana, Linda Stringer, Lucy Noonan, Alex Tan, everybody. They're all vocal on LinkedIn. Their posts are out there. There's a LinkedIn page. Send a message. Somebody will talk to you. Somebody will message you. Just ask. That's all we ask.
Jo, thank you for your time today.
Thank you. Thanks very much for asking.